Hi guys, today I'll be taking a look at the new Nintendo Switch 2 console, with me never owning the original one, so buying this as a first time user. So I'll be taking a closer look at the new console, looking at the design and the accessories you get in the packaging. I'll go through the spec, show you how to set it up, and show you everything you need to know about it, giving you my first impressions as a first time user, highlighting any pros and cons to give you a better idea if it's worth getting or not. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. But before I begin, if you're new to the channel, hope you can support me by subscribing and hitting the bell icon to get notified of my next release. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Price wise, you can either purchase the console standalone for just under $450 or you could go for the bundle with Mario Kart World for just under $500, which is the bundle I purchased, as it's cheaper than getting the console and game separately, as the game costs just under $80. Opening up the packaging, inside you get the JoyCon 2 right controller, the left JoyCon 2 controller, the Nintendo Switch 2 console. Underneath this you have the Mario Kart World download code, a Nintendo Switch 2 leaflet, a HDMI 2.1 cable, the JoyCon 2 straps for both the controllers. Then lifting this away, you have the JoyCon 2 grip, a Type-C cable for charging, a UK power adapter, and finally the Nintendo Switch 2 dock. Taking a closer look at the Nintendo Switch 2, at the front it has a 7.9-inch glossy LCD screen providing a 1080p resolution. It has thick bezels on either side and thinner ones on the top, with it weighing around 534 grams. Size wise it's around 270mm long, 116mm wide, and is just 13.9mm thick. So much larger than the original Nintendo Switch, but this still has the same thickness, with it boasting a larger screen. You've got JoyCon 2 controllers, one on either side, which lock into place magnetically and can be released by pressing the release buttons at the back, and then you can pull them away easily and they connect back with a nice satisfying snap. The magnets are large enough to keep it in place and they don't move or rattle, giving a very firm and secure connection. The connection ports on the console have the same color as the corresponding left and right JoyCon 2 controllers, giving a visual color indication of the left and right, with each side showing a plus and minus symbol respectively. The thumbsticks feel good, with a good size to them, together with them being a comfortable distance away, so you don't need to stretch to reach them. The buttons on the controllers protrude out and have a nice smooth feel with a clicky sound. On the right controller, the plus button serves as a menu button as well as the pause button when gaming. Then you have the A, B, Y, X buttons, right thumbstick, home button, and the new C button for GameChat. On the left you have a minus button at the top, which also serves as a menu button, allowing you to access settings and other options. You also have a left thumbstick, and underneath this is where you have your D-pad and the capture button to take screenshots, which also allows you to record gameplay clips. At the top you have your left and right bumpers together with the ZL and ZR triggers, which are digital triggers rather than analog ones, providing instant input with no pressure sensitivity like you would get on the Xbox and PlayStation controllers, which have analog triggers giving gradual input. On the inside you have your SL and SR buttons, which are larger than the original Switch, making it easy to press, and you have some sensors that allow you to use them as a mouse. They both have the same matte black finish as the console, with the colour on the side connection points and underneath the thumbsticks, and once connected the only colour visible is underneath the thumbsticks. At the top you've got more controls consisting of a power button, volume control, plus and minus buttons, some vents, a USB Type-C port for charging when using in a tabletop mode, a 3.5mm headphone jack, a game card slot, and a microphone when using the GameChat. Underneath you have a USB-C port, some rubber feet on either side, and built-in speakers, which I'll test out later, and there's also a micro SD card slot which is hidden behind the kickstand. At the back you have the Nintendo Switch 2 logo and the kickstand, which is quite thin but seems to hold the weight well when it's in a tabletop mode. The kickstand can go back 150 degrees and balances well, with no movement, with the rubber feet keeping it stable. The build quality feels good, with it being pretty comfortable in your hands. The screen does attract dust and is a fingerprint magnet, but overall the look of the new Nintendo Switch 2 looks quite nice and clean, with its matte black finish all the way round. Coming over to the Nintendo Switch 2 dock, it has a matte black finish similar to the console with rounded edges. At the front you've got the Switch 2 branding with an LED light on the lower left hand side corner. On the left hand side you have two USB-A ports with some vents underneath and rubber feet to stop it slipping on the surface. The rear part of the dock has a cover which can be removed, revealing a Type-C port for power, a HDMI 2.1 port and a gigabit Ethernet LAN port, plus some more vents for airflow, and the larger part on the right has a fan to keep the console cool when it's docked. Let's get this set up. Power on the device by pressing the power button, select your language and region, click next, connect it to your Wi-Fi network, then click OK. Once connected, click OK. It then does a check to see if there's a system update. It's found one, so I can continue setting up while it downloads in the background. Click next, select your time zone. It then mentions the different play styles for the console and goes through some basic info regarding this. The console then restarts and says update complete, click OK. If you owned a previous Switch, you can transfer data. I'll skip this as it's my first one. Then set up your user, click next. I'll sign into my Nintendo account which I created earlier. I'll just scan in the QR code on my phone and select my account, followed by entering in the verification code. Click OK, and once signed in, click next. Now you can set up your profile, select your icon, enter your nickname, click OK. Once added in, click OK. You can add more users, but I'll skip this for now. You can also set parental controls. I'll skip this too. You can insert your micro SD card at this stage if you have one. I'll skip this one too. And that's it. It's set up. I've attached the JoyCon 2 controllers, and pressing the Nintendo eShop, it asks which profile to use. You can then redeem your code if you have one by clicking the redeem code option. Once entered, click redeem. It then downloads the game onto the console. Let me initially show you around the interface, which has a clean and simple layout, and just to note, the screen is touchscreen, which makes it easy to navigate around, and it has some nice sound effects when you're navigating. In the top left hand corner you have your user profile. This is where you can change some account settings, together with allowing you to send and manage friend invitations. In the top right corner you have the time, your Wi-Fi status and a battery icon, and if you select this it shows the battery percentage. In the middle you have your virtual game cards. Scrolling along, at the end click the grid, which brings up another screen where you can re-download software, and then clicking on groups you can create your groups, useful if you had a lot of games. Clicking back, and underneath you have more icons. The first one is the Nintendo Online membership. Then you have GameChat, News, Nintendo eShop, Album, Game Share, where you can share a game with another person, Controllers, which shows you the battery status of each device and allows you to pair additional controllers. View virtual game cards for different users on the console. Settings lets you adjust the screen brightness, set up parental controls, and has a lot of other options. And the power button allows you to put it into sleep mode. In the bottom left corner you have the console icon showing you the mode the console is currently in, with it showing it's currently in handheld mode. If you remove the controllers, the icon will change, showing you the JoyCon 2 controllers individually. Spec wise, the Nintendo Switch 2 has a custom NVIDIA processor with 256 gigs of storage, which can be expanded via a micro SD card, with it supporting up to 2 terabytes. It's powered by a 5250 mAh lithium-ion battery, so they say you get around 5 to 6.5 hours of usage depending on how long you've been playing. It's got a game card slot at the top, with it being backwards compatible with the older Switch games, so you'll have a large collection of games available to you, which is excellent news. But in terms of Switch 2 games, there's only a small selection currently available at this moment in time, as the console is pretty new. There's a USB-C port at the top where you can connect up your charger and continue playing in either handheld mode or in tabletop mode, with it taking about 3 hours to charge up the console when it's in sleep mode. It also supports Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2 and has a wired Ethernet connection when docked. Having never owned a Switch 2, I'm actually quite impressed at how versatile it is in terms of gaming, with you being able to have it in 3 different modes. There's a welcome tour game that shows you around the functionality available, but you have to buy this separately, and to be honest, they really should have given it for free, as I don't really understand why you'd want to pay for something like that. Let me go through the different modes, together with the functionality you get. In handheld mode, playing Mario Kart World on the 7.9-inch LCD screen looks really good, with clarity levels being quite impressive on the 1080p display, giving a good amount of detail. The device feels really well balanced, with it not too heavy, with the controllers having a good ergonomic feel, with the controls being in easy reach. It supports HDR and VRR, giving vibrant colors, with you able to get 120Hz on the 1080p display, giving really smooth gameplay with no stuttering. The LCD panel is bright with good contrast levels, but it's a shame the screen isn't an OLED display where you'd get inky blacks. But to be honest, the display gives good colours, looking vivid and sharp. Even playing in a bright room, the screen performance isn't bad, with some reflections from the glossy screen, and viewing angles are good from left to right and up and down. I've been playing for a couple of hours, and the Switch 2 doesn't feel too hot or too heavy, and the JoyCon 2 controllers feel comfortable, with them fitting well in my hands. The triggers and bumpers feel good, with a comfortable distance away. Onto tabletop mode, and you'd use the JoyCon 2 controllers independently from the console, so either stand alone with each one in your hands, or use them on your desk like a mouse, or even use them with the JoyCon 2 grip stand. The JoyCon 2 grip has the Nintendo Switch 2 logo on the front, with glossy handles on either side and the Nintendo logo at the back. You just attach the JoyCon 2 controllers onto it, with it helping to provide a larger area to grip. In tabletop mode, you'd pull out the kickstand to rest the console on a table or flat surface, giving you the option to either play with a friend in a 2-player setup or even charge it without having to hold onto it. The kickstand extends out quite far, so you have a lot of flexibility in positioning the screen, with the rubber feet helping to keep it quite sturdy. The SL and SR buttons are a good size and can be easily pressed when playing with them horizontally. They're made of plastic with metal behind there, with them being bigger, and this helps them to attach better to the console magnetically. The controllers also have HD Rumble 2 motors built in, giving you haptic-like feedback rumbles when gaming through vibration and sound, with the sound having some depth to it, which is loud enough to help find the controllers from the search for controllers feature in settings. The third option is TV mode, which is when the console is docked, with the dock connecting to your TV via the HDMI cable, giving you a 4K resolution capped at 60 FPS. But if you lower the resolution to 1440p or 1080p, you can get 120 FPS, which worked really well, but worth noting VRR is not supported in docked mode. Playing Mario Kart World on the big screen feels amazing, and even in a 2-player setup, which makes the console so sociable. I've tried out a couple of games on here, including Cyberpunk and Fortnite, with these games performing really well. The Switch 2 also has 5.1 channel built-in speakers, which are quite loud and have a good sound quality with some depth. Have a listen to this. The built-in mic at the top helps with chatting with friends via GameChat and filters out any background or game noise, letting your voice filter through clearer. And the new C button on the controller is a dedicated chat button, which opens up a new chat feature on the console, letting you chat with friends. This feature is currently free until the end of March 2026, but after this you'll need to subscribe to the Nintendo Switch Online membership to use it. The feature allows you to voice chat up to 12 people, share your screen, and use the Nintendo Switch 2 camera for video chat. In terms of accessories, you've got a small selection available from Nintendo, which includes a camera, Pro controller, and JoyCon 2 wheel pair, together with a carry case. So in summary, from a first-time user perspective of the Nintendo Switch, the Switch 2 is quite impressive, and I like the versatility of the console, giving you 3 modes of gaming and the ability to game with friends or family. The 7.9-inch LCD display is a good size, giving a 1080p resolution and up to 120Hz, but personally I would have liked it to be an OLED screen, but even so, the display has good clarity levels and vivid colours. I like the new design and the clean, simple interface. The controls on the JoyCon 2 controllers feel good, with them having a good size to them. I'm impressed with the magnets on the controllers, helping to keep them secure to the console, and the increased 256 gigs of storage is a good addition, helping you to store a few more games. It's backwards compatible with older games, which is a big bonus. Negatives wise, the console isn't cheap, with it being $150 more than the original Switch, and for that price you could pick up a PS5 digital for just under $450 with 1TB of storage, or an Xbox Series S for under $350, with that having 512 gigs of storage. And games wise, they're not cheap, with the average price being around $70 to $90 for the newer games. There's also no streaming services, which would have been a nice addition in terms of functionality to have. But nevertheless, with the Nintendo Switch 2, you're getting portability with games stored locally. You can also dock the console to your monitor or TV, and depending on your compatibility, you're able to get 4K with 60 FPS or 1440 or 1080 at 120 FPS, with some games that can instantly transfer into 2 or 4 player games. So an excellent console if you're looking for something that's versatile in many ways. So there you have it, you've come to the end of another video, and I hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links, and if you have any questions on this, let me know in the comments below. For those of you who've got to the end of this video, please leave a comment with Switch 2, as it's awesome to see who's got to the end of my video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on all my socials, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to be notified of my next release. Thanks for viewing, and see you in the next one.